We're on. Hello, and welcome back to Dietitians Beyond Borders. I'm your host, Jennifer Shalhoub, and I'm so excited to bring you another episode exploring how nutrition is integrated into healthcare systems around the world. Today, we're diving into the world of nutrition from a medical perspective in Romania. Joining me today is Dr. Anna Maria, a doctor specialized in nutrition who will be sharing valuable insights into how nutrition is approached in Romanian healthcare, the challenges and the opportunities in medical nutrition, and the growing awareness of the role of nutrition in overall health. Welcome. Hi.
Hello.
It's an honor.
First of all,
Go,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you, Jennifer, for this opportunity to share my experience from here, from Romania, and to congratulate you for organizing this podcast. You're doing an excellent job. I've watched your previous episodes and found them very full of valuable insights. You're truly helping our peers in the nutrition field all over the world gain knowledge through this amazing project. So I'm so excited to be part of it. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Of course, of course. It's such an honor. It's such an honor to have you here on the
For
podcast.
me also.
I was blessed to meet so many dietitians all over the world, but having a doctor in nutrition, that was, I think, double the price for me. So I'm very happy you're here. So to start,
You're
can you
very
share a
nice.
little bit about yourself, about your background, and how you became specialized in nutrition?
Well, I was born and raised here in the capital of Romania, Bucharest. I studied medicine in Bucharest, and after graduation, I decided that the specialty that here is called diabetes, nutrition, and metabolic diseases suits me best. My interest in nutrition developed early on as I saw the impact it had on patients with chronic diseases, especially diabetes and obesity. I myself had many cases of diabetes in my family, both type 1 and type 2, unfortunately. And I had the chance, if I can call it that way, to be accustomed to the specific diets that the diabetics have to follow every day of their lives. I uh, I chose this specialty because it combines clinical medicine with lifestyle interventions, offering a more holistic, so to speak, more holistic approach to patient care. I also always wanted to have a close relationship with my patients, so I wanted a specialty that can allow me to integrate the patient into the managing team. So that those are the reasons, a couple of my reasons to choose this specialty.
Beautiful. It's so fascinating how every single one of us kind of, when they get this light bulb, right? And they know
Yes,
this is what
yes.
I'm gonna do, and that passion grows and grows. This is everything. So let's start with healthcare in Romania. How is nutrition integrated into the healthcare system, especially within medical practice?
Well, in theory, nutrition is formally integrated into the healthcare system through this specialty, the specialty of diabetes, nutrition, and metabolic diseases. However, outside this specialty, nutrition is still underrepresented. There are a few clinical dietitians, and most hospitals lack, unfortunately, structured nutritional support teams. Preventive nutrition is not yet a priority here, and access to specialized nutritional care varies greatly depending on the region. So there are there are still poorer regions in Romania where the access to proper care is still hindered.
Mm. Okay. So as much as nutrition obviously is important and vital, and between doctors and between healthcare professionals, they know, right? They know the importance, but it seems that there's a lack of maybe more support, right? Yeah.
Exactly, yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Definitely. So I hope things change, and we'll talk about some opportunities later. And as a doctor who specializes in nutrition, what does your role look like in the clinical setting, and especially in that diabetes realm?
In clinical settings, we primarily manage patients with type 1 and type 2 diabetes, of course. Besides that, we take care of patients with obesity, dyslipidemia, metabolic syndrome, sometimes nutritional deficiencies. Of course, most patients with diabetes have also cardiovascular diseases, or at least a very high risk of cardiovascular diseases. So besides, of course, the pharmacological treatment, we assess their diet, we provide medical nutrition therapy, we follow up regularly to track progress, we educate patients on lifestyle changes, and also we work closely with endocrinologists, with cardiologists and nephrologists. And personally, regarding the way I approach my patients, I'm trying to empower them, to help them not get scared of their illness. That is very, very important. I often like to tell them that they are the ones in charge. They are controlling the disease, not the way around. Their perspective is very, very important.
1000%. I actually just had a patient yesterday. They also were dealing with a lot, multiple chronic diseases. He's 24 years old, very young.
Very young, yes.
Very young. Sleep apnea, obesity, pre-diabetes, you name it. And we've been working on together. He recently lost, I'll tell you in kilos, I think about 5 kilos in like 2 weeks, which, as we know, right, in a healthy weight loss, usually it's even like a bit less or something like that, or maybe same
Yes.
same. But you had no idea how happy he was and how proud I was. But I told him, like, he was thanking me, right? But I was telling him, no, it's you are the one putting the work. You are the one who's doing this. And that's why everybody's proud of you. It's insane when you see them putting the work in a realistic and achievable way, and you guiding them, you being the support system that they need and they want. Oh God. So 1000%. I agree with you like to the T, because it is so true. So true. So we spoke a bit, you just said about MNT, right? Medical nutrition therapy. As you know, in every country, in every single condition, actually, diet changes. The recommendations change. So with that, do you guys follow like a carbohydrate controlled diet? Is there anything with that? Is it more restriction to carbs? Just a quick overview. I know the listeners, maybe some of them, they don't know anything about that. But if you want to give a quick summary about this, what would you say?
We are not friends with keto diets whatsoever. So yes, thank you. Yes, we think that carbohydrates are not the enemy. Um, they are a very good source of energy. We shall not skip eating carbs. We just have to be careful how we eat them, and in what percentage we consume them, and in what form.
Absolutely.
So we like carbs, but
Within control.
not excessively.
Yeah, within control, within control.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yes.
What is the awareness like among healthcare providers in Romania about the importance of nutrition? So whether it's nurses, whether, the whole team, because some countries I would see that they truly value dietitians, and then others, they're still working on
Not
it.
so much.
What's going on in Romania?
Yes. To be optimistic, good part is that awareness is growing, especially among younger professionals, but there is still a gap in training. For example, medical students on one hand receive minimal nutrition education during their studies, and also many doctors, on the other hand, feel unprepared to give evidence-based dietary advice. There's also limited collaboration between other doctors from other specialties and dietitians, which of course hinders comprehensive care. In Romania, the path to becoming a nutritionist is still not very well regulated. Medical doctors specialized in diabetes and nutrition are the only officially recognized clinical nutrition experts. Also, there are some master's programs in nutrition that have been introduced recently, in recent years. But still, the title nutritionist is not legally protected. This means that in practice, anyone can open a nutrition-related business regardless of formal training, which can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
And
That's insane.
yeah,
Crazy. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm in shock because one, I had no idea. I'm sure the audience, a lot who's not from Romania, won't know. So, I really hope that whoever's work, as you mentioned, those couple new programs will graduate some dietitians or nutritionists who will be advocating for themselves more to get to where they.
hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, my
We
God.
need some kind of law, like
Something to protect them.
exactly, because it's not a good thing that everyone can express their own opinion about nutrition, um,
With
even if they
no
are
backup.
prepared for that or not. Yes.
Yeah, wow. Well, thank God for you guys, those who went into the medical field, but focusing more on yes, of course, the more pharmacological end, but also the holistic end and the lifestyle end, because as you mentioned before, it's all one for a sustainable, realistic, achievable end goal. You have to be.
Yes, but unfortunately, the healthcare system isn't really helping us to take care of the patient in a holistic way. So we are being rushed to give them pills, to give them medicines, and move on to another patient. It's quite difficult to integrate a dietary plan or this MNT,
Yes.
but we try our best to incorporate it. It's very important, at least in diabetes. It's the first step of treatment, so we cannot skip it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give you a scenario here. It's a question, but I'm going to give you like a quick
Sure.
synopsis. Let's say somebody came, patient came to you, right? And this patient saw another healthcare professional. God knows what they recommended, right? Maybe
Yeah.
different medication, different nutrition MNT, right? Or maybe no MNT, nothing. And then they came over to you. Have you seen those cases like that? Have you seen people coming to you like um, uh, maybe upset or scared or confused? Have you Have you had this before?
Of course, all the time. Internet is big, right? So everyone can share an opinion about nutrition. People can easily get confused because they are uh, attacked with so much information and also conflicting informations. So it's difficult for them to pick the truth from all this huge amount of information.
Yeah.
So yes, I try to bridge this gap that is forming by focusing on patient education, using evidence-based guidelines, fostering communication with other professionals also. And when patients come with conflicting advice from various sources, I'm trying my best to take time to clarify misconceptions and explain the rationale behind my recommendations. I think, in my opinion, trust and consistency are key. So I'm trying my best to explain every point to them as much as time lets me do it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, most of my patients are older adults because most of my patients have type 2 diabetes. They are coming with traditional eating habits, so I take into account the Romanian dietary pattern. We like to call it Carpaito-Danubiano Pontic diet. It's a fancy name. So I'm trying to avoid recommending exotic or unfamiliar foods that don't fit their lifestyle or culture. We have a saying during nutritionists, what your grandma can recognize is good to eat. If your grandma cannot recognize what you're eating, it's problematic. Yes, so for example, I will recommend them apples, plums, watermelons instead of mangoes or pineapples. Instead of tuna fish, I'll recommend local types of fish. Instead of avocado, I'll encourage them to eat walnuts, sunflower seeds. Instead of quinoa, I'll tell them to eat beans or traditional polenta, and so on. I'm trying my best to make it very local, even though, don't get me wrong, all those foods can be found in supermarkets and are very healthy choices, no problem whatsoever. But older people tend to be more conservative regarding what they eat, and many misconceptions may come from this unfamiliarity. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it local, and also another problem regarding all these imported foods, they can also get quite expensive for them. So I'm trying to stick to their budget, to their eating budget.
When you're talking about lifestyle,
Of course,
some
yes.
dietitians or even doctors, they would say, yeah, get chickpea pasta and I don't know. And it's like, we know, right? What are we getting from that chickpea pasta? What are we getting out of it? More processed protein,
Yeah.
although the original form of pasta is pasta. There's nothing else with it. But it's more expensive. They consider it healthier because there's whatever, more protein. And yeah, and it's not achievable. Somebody who's in their 70s won't eat chickpea pasta. Let's say in Romania also. Do you guys eat pasta? Like in general, is it part of your cuisine?
Not traditionally,
But not
but
recently.
recently, yes, of course,
Yeah.
yes.
So even because obviously I feel like every country has adapted something from outside, right?
Of
But like
course, yes.
traditionally, it's not something that, 70, 80-year-old would like be craving, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So what do you think can be done to improve the collaboration between this whole healthcare team to provide better care for the patient? Is there anything you would say like, oh, I wish we had or something?
Yes, improving interprofessional education and integrating dietitians into hospital teams would make a huge difference. We need multidisciplinary teams that include dietitians. We need better referral systems. We need shared protocols. That's very important. We need clear algorithms so anyone can follow. Standardized documentation tools, interprofessional education, of course. I think that real progress requires recognizing the unique value of each profession that's involved in nutrition care, and also, actually, in the first place, it's important to recognize this importance of nutrition for the patient's well-being.
That's the only care that we should have, right? Anything we can do to make the patient feel better, be happier, and trust.
Why not do it?
Yeah, there's something you said before, how to be trustworthy and consistent. Well, this is, an incredible healthcare, like such as yourself, healthcare professional saying that, because that will give the patient the rest that they need and not feeling anxious and stressed.
That's very, very important.
Yeah.
We are not only trying to make them physically better. We have to take care of their psychological part also.
Yep. 1000%. So we spoke about a couple challenges already, about, right, whether a bit of the doctors, dietitians, healthcare system in Romania. Is there anything you want to add on? Is there anything you want to
so many.
wrap up that section?
Yes.
We're laughing, but I know it's sad, but yeah.
Yes, but progress starts by raising those problems, right? So, as I said before, one major challenge is the lack of national protocols. There is also the problem of the lack of reimbursement for nutrition counseling, which limits access to proper care. There are a lot of people that cannot afford a nutritional plan. So maybe if the authorities can help us reach those people, would make a big difference among the Romanian population. Another one would be, as I think I already mentioned, a limited number of trained dietitians. There's also the challenge of misinformation, as I stated above. Patients are often influenced by non-medical sources, which in the end makes our work even harder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I think those would be part of our struggles.
Yeah. I hope that moving forward, the opportunities that, will come up with good advocacy, and patience and no losing hope is the most important thing.
Of course,
I don't know if I told you that, but I'm from Lebanon. And I always want to mention that I'm from Lebanon every single podcast or every single time I meet any individual. So we didn't have any syndicate for dietitians until recently. We've had dietitians for, oh my God, like nutrition and body image and aesthetics is something super crucial in our country. And recently, maybe a year or two, they created a syndicate. And recently they started advocating more, but doesn't mean that they're doing it 1000%. They're still in the works. There's so much that they should be doing. There's so much that should be done, but at least it happened. So after years of like trying to find any way to create that syndicate, they just did it. So that's why there is hope.
It's a big step.
Yes, 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 yes. So finally, wrap up. I love that you are a doctor specializing in this realm. What opportunities you see happening, hopefully, in Romania, whether, you know, specialties that relate to nutrition, dietitians, nutritionists, regardless of those challenges, what do you see happening next, God willing?
There's growing interest in personalized nutrition. There are digital tools like continuous glucose monitoring that are starting to appear. AI-driven dietary tracking. I'm also excited about integrating nutrition more strongly into preventive care and chronic disease management, especially as health system is trying at least to shift towards more patient-centered models. So future sounds good.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. As long as we, you know, not abuse them, right? And that's something where it's scary, especially with the AI realm. But having some sort of like preventative care, as you mentioned, will save people so much. It will save the burden, financial, economic, mental, physical, everything. So,
Prevention is so important and so overlooked,
oh yes.
Unfortunately.
No, but I can't wait. I can't wait. As you mentioned, the future is bright, and that's all what we can, you know, trust right now, which is great. So thank you so much, Doctor, for joining me today and sharing your expertise on the role of nutrition in Romanian healthcare. It's been enlightening to hear how nutrition plays such an important role in the management of health and disease in Romania. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with anyone who might be interested in learning more about nutrition's role in healthcare across the world. You can also follow me on at Artists Beyond Border. It's written below for updates and future episodes. Until next time, stay curious, stay nourished, and keep exploring nutrition beyond borders. Thank you.